interviewing into your podcast to the guy taking out his credit card.
Yeah, for sure. So that's okay. Question. So that's the next step. So if you're here in this call, it's probably because you already have a sales system properly implemented. So how do you go from the interviews to the sales conversation? So this is what happens next. So the way we do it, and this is going to be one of the slides I'm the most proud of, is what's the follow-up playbook first and foremost. So let's summarize everything that happened so far. You reached out to someone, kind of stroking their ego, like, hey, you're valuable to me and to the industry. I'd like to interview you on the show, which is a truth. Like, this is genuinely what it needs to be about. But so you started building some goodwill as of then, if you've positioned and you're clear on the ICP from the get-go. Then you establish a super smooth process for them to get into a pre-interview call, have a great time with you, and then into an interview, building some further goodwill and some reciprocity. During the interview, and that's what, so I broke down how we do it. We tweak it a bit depending on what industry, what niche, what does our client sells, because you want the interview to be putting the spotlight on the guests, but also serve as a bit of a discovery call. And indeed, something I didn't say during that part of the presentation is during the interview, I will jump in sometimes. I'm like, oh, that's interesting you'd say that. What we see working well is XYZ. Or, hey, we worked with someone who was facing the same problem, and this is what we did, and this is what didn't work, and this is what worked. Or, hey, I had another guest come on the show, and I like what they said because this put words on things that we do, which is XYZ. So you chip in during the interview to also showcase thought leadership, authority, almost help them overcome some of those problems right here and right there. During the episode, we talked about email nurturing, right? Like, what do you do once you get a lead in, and how do you keep them engaged, keep them like receiving value, although they haven't taken the next steps? After the call, we discussed, hey, look, like, what did you mean with this? And we booked a follow-up call to discuss exactly this. Like, how do we actually nurture people via email once they enter into our ecosystem? So by asking those targeted questions, you put the spotlight on the guest, but you also get a bit of information that you can follow up on. And then it's during the off-air debrief, right? If they really didn't give you anything during the interview, you try to get a bit more there. Hey, off the record, like, what did you mean with XYZ? Or like, how are you doing this? Being clear on the ICP will also help you know their pain points and their desired outcome better than they do sometimes. And that's what you need to do during that off-air debrief, which is why it's important to keep 10, 15 minutes of off-air debrief after the interview. How do you get them to give you their credit card? So this is what happens after. So you book that second call, that follow-up call, and you need to do a few things. So we have a list of things that we tell our clients to do. We have like 4 potential things. We want people to do at least 2, because you want to build further credibility, authority, and reciprocity whilst they are, doing their stuff and not in a call with you. What we do is 24 hours after the episode, we're going to send them the link to the recording. Like, hey, look, remember what you took time out of your day for? It's already out there. It's already live. Look, it's with a nice video intro, nice video outro, and the episode is packed with knowledge. It's available on YouTube right now. You can use it, not use it, do whatever you want with it. Thank you so much for coming on the show. That's it. 48 hours before the call, what we do is we're going to leave reviews on each and every single platform where their business is. Think Facebook, LinkedIn, Yelp, Reddit, Google Business Profile, Trustpilot, anything we can find their business on, we're going to leave a review, which is an honest review, right? We don't say, hey, I'm working with John, he's amazing. But like, hey, I had the founder, so-and-so on the show. We talked about XYZ. What I like is ABC. I think in that specific niche, truck repair shop owners, he knows what he's talking about. This is true. This is based on the podcast. This is value packed. And most people appreciate this a lot because it's like trust and authority are everything today. You're building further credibility and further goodwill. Something that we do, because you don't want to do all this so that they feel they have to do something in return. So you want to do small asks as well. We leave all those reviews. We send them an email saying, hey, John, look, trust and authority are everything for B2B coaches and consultants, but that's going to be true for any client you serve, especially in B2B. So therefore, I like the interview. I decided to leave you reviews. Here are the screenshots attached. By the way, I didn't find you on all the platforms. We didn't find them on. Let me know if I missed anything. And then you want to do a small ask. No obligation at all. But if you want to leave us some reviews, it would mean the world to me if you could leave us a review on the podcast. No obligation. Here are the links. Looking forward to our call. You build goodwill, but also a bit of reciprocity, right? So you're not just stacking the chip in your favor so that they feel they have to do something for you. 24 hours before the call, I prepare my call based on what they told me, who I want to introduce them to, and the potential questions for the podcast and the draft podcast plan. That's true for anything: cybersecurity services, marketing, helping people be better managers and do workshops. I will record with my phone a 30-second video saying, "Hey, John, looking forward to our call tomorrow. I've prepared a whole list of people I can introduce you to and a thing for the podcast plan that I think you will love. Look, it's just there." I scroll through my computer to show them that it's there, and then I send it to them wherever they're available. Now we ask for the phone number when they book an interview or a public call, which allows me to send it to them via WhatsApp or iMessage. I also send it on LinkedIn if I've interacted with them on LinkedIn. And if I have none of those, I send it to them via email. Increases show-up rate, builds goodwill, and make it a bit more personalized, a bit of a, soft touch. Then you get into the call and you treat it as a discovery call. It's like, cool, John, look, those are the two people. So I have a whole list of people, but I identified two that I think are really relevant for you. Here are they. I show their LinkedIn profile. I show what they do. And I say, do you want an introduction? 99% of people will say yes. I'm like, cool, amazing. If you think of anybody who could be a great guest for the podcast, let me know. Would love to interview them. Okay. Tell me more about, and now you start your discovery call. You treat it as a discovery call. Tell me more about what you meant with you're not getting enough leads. Tell me more about what you meant around you don't have a strong enough brand out there. Tell me more around what you meant with you haven't gotten any marketing results over the last 2 years with your industrial company. Tell me more about this. And then you treat it as a discovery call. Where they are right now, you label them like, oh, okay, so if I understand well, this is what you're struggling with, right? Yes. You overview their past experience, like, okay, so what have you done over the last 12 months to try and solve this? Nothing? Why? Or, oh, okay, why didn't it work? Or, okay, why didn't you get the results that you wanted? Cool. Then you become specific. So it sounds like you're struggling with this and doing that would solve the problem, correct? Cool. Okay, you're also struggling with this. Sounds like if we were solving this, that would solve the problem. Cool. Look, what I propose we do, and that's how I do it, I'm going to come up with a tailored approach for you on exactly how we could fix that specific issue. We believe in doing the work beforehand. So I'm going to put together a plan that I'm going to walk you through. You can take it home, implement yourself. And if you're like, this is valuable enough and you like the experience, we can discuss how we work together. Sounds good? Yes. It's the end of the 30 minutes. You book a second call, and this is the call where you close. Between those two calls, so between follow-up number 1 and follow-up number 2, you want to send those email nurtures. So Manoj, those are the ones that we discussed. This is best case studies. Those are best transformations. Those are industry insights. Those are emails that shows that you get shit done, pardon my French, and you get the results that you say you get. And then they have all the infos. What we started doing as well is send a VSL, video sales letter. It's like, hey, look, this is a 15 minutes video, basically explaining how we do things and why we do them so that we can focus on your tailored approach and your specific questions in the call. We send them that. It covers basically the promise, why we are relevant, so we showcase proof, the plan, five simple steps plan, common questions we get asked, and you pre-handle some of the objections in there. And you finish with some video testimonials. So like I have a 15 minutes video, the last 3.5 minutes are video testimonials of my clients saying, Guillaume is amazing. Well, GHA, because it's not just me, obviously. That's how you get their credit card, I know. If you run a professional services firms and you are not growing as fast as you'd like, then I'd like to give you a free gift. My team and I have put together the B2B Podcasting Secrets Playbook, which is basically 3 years of my teams and I knowledge, solving branding and lead generation for good for professional services firms. So if this is you, then your business growth is directly linked to the number and the quality of the relationships that you're able to build with actual decision makers, also whilst building reputation and brand. And we got pretty good at helping people like you do exactly that using podcast. So the playbook has 9 sections, from how to even position it, to finding the first guests, how to transform content and guests into clients, all the way up to becoming the #1 influencer in your space. It includes visuals, videos, text, and templates, and case studies relevant to each and every section. And if you want to go even faster, then on the thank you page, you can book a call directly with my team, and we will look at your firm, see if we can help. And if so, we'll put together a tailored plan for your specific podcast that you can use and implement.